Hey Lion, hi folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new, I use he pronouns. You might have noticed that the audio quality is significantly better compared to my old videos, and it's because I just got the Rode Wireless Go 2. This is not a sponsored video. I actually wanted a better mic for a while now, but I thought it's about time that I invested. I'm just checking the receiver. It's about time that I invested in a good quality mic that I can use to film indoors, make films, and film outdoors, such as vlogs. And I'm happy that I have good audio now. Yes, my new friend that you will be seeing a lot more of. My new friend, say hi. Today's video is sort of like an advocacy video, and I want to talk about men's mental health and touch on a little bit about what I know about toxic masculinity and basically how much I don't agree with it. So it's sort of interesting for me. Context is because I'm a trans guy. I started living as a guy at the start of 2020, so only like 2 years, 8 months, 2 years, 9 months, something like that. And I've lived the rest of my life as a woman. Not saying I was a woman back then. I've always been a guy. I just didn't know that I am a guy. So I was living as a woman and only started living as a guy at the start of 2020. So I didn't grow up with all the ideas imposed on me how boys don't show emotion, boys have to do certain things. And in relation to mental health, men and boys don't show weakness, men and boys don't talk about emotions, men and boys don't show emotion, must be strong, emotionless, and just suppress all your feelings, don't talk about your feelings. That's what girls and women do, and men don't do that. And just the idea and image of constantly being strong, supporting the family, yada yada yada. I don't know much about the rest. I just know that, I don't know a whole lot. I just know in terms of mental health, it's not showing emotion and just being strong all the time. And that showing vulnerability of any kind means the person, or the man in this context, or the boy, is weak and needs to man up. Just thinking about the term man up, what does that actually mean? It's, to me, my understanding is man up means fit into the box, the idea of man, that boy and man, should I say, that the world has created here. You have to fit into this box over here. This is how we define men, and boys. This is how we define what men and boys do, act like. And you must fit into this image of man, or being a man. I've also seen YouTube videos about like alpha males, and like being alpha is just like being dominant and just being on top. And I don't understand that whole thing. But in terms of mental health, we are all human, right? Like, regardless of gender or lack of gender, we are all human. We all have the same basic fundamental needs: eating, water, shelter, food, water, shelter, warmth, connection with others, feeling belonged, love, having some sort of meaning, like, and purpose. Basic fundamentals. All humans need this. And part of my belief is part of connecting with others and healing from trauma and reconnecting with self is being vulnerable and being honest. Being honest with yourself, mostly. I don't know why I did that with my eyes. Being honest with ourselves, mostly. Because just take a second to reflect, if you would like, on your life, irregardless of your gender. Reflect on how much of what you've needed or what you currently need is not being met because of suppressing, trying to fit into boxes, people pleasing, looking a certain way so that we don't get rejected and that we fit in, behaving a certain way, doing things we don't want to do to basically fit in and be loved, be accepted by others, by not necessarily doing things that are true and honest to us in order to fit in with the crowd. Just take a second, because I've done that many times, multiple. One is closeted, like not talking about my LGBT journey or telling people, hey, I'm actually questioning my gender and my sexuality because I was really scared. And even though I figured out that I'm trans, it took me a while to grow confident living in that identity because I was scared of rejection, not being accepted, being ostracized, all of this stuff. I was scared to talk about mental health to people because of the stigma that's lying to myself. Me not saying no when I want to say no because I don't want to feel, because I feel guilty about saying no and letting other people down. That's all being dishonest to myself. And I'm doing things to fit in and please others, not to honor my own needs. And I went off tangent and I don't know what my point is and how it links to my video. 1 second. Just thinking about this a little, and gender norms definitely play a part in men not being vulnerable because, I don't know, when traditionally women are the emotional ones and men are the strong ones who don't show emotion, and part of masculinity is being strong and not talking about big feelings, and because that's what women do traditionally, that's what it's seen as, and that definitely has fueled the stigma surrounding men talking about mental health, which it goes back a while, but it reinforces the existing problem because that's seen as normal, and men talking about mental health and their own well-being is not normal. The things I'm going to say next in this section of the video apply to everyone, but I'm also targeting men and boys in this video because of the ridiculous amount of stigma surrounding men's mental health, but this does apply to everyone. But I'm directing this video towards boys and men out there as a man myself. The world is an ass, basically, and the existing gender norms about masculinity and what it means to be a man are very unhealthy and unhelpful and undoubtedly very damaging because it puts us in a conflict between, if I am vulnerable, then people might put me down, see me less, discriminate against me, not treat me as human for showing emotion and talking about big feelings and my challenges and the struggles I'm going through. Shit, I lost my train of thought. That's one side. One side is not being honest with self, and actually one side is being honest with self, but then possibly having not very nice reactions from others or responses from others. The other hand is I stay silent, I suppress my feelings, I suppress what's going on, I try and deal with everything myself because it's not okay to talk about this. And that is dishonesty to self, but then we supposedly fit in with the crowd and what's expected of being a man and being a boy. So ultimately, it's a conflict between, do I put myself first or do I put looking like I fit in and keeping this image that others see of me, and between self and others essentially. And I want to say that it is okay to talk about your feelings. To all the boys and men out there, from a man to you, it's okay to talk about feelings. It's okay to reach out for help. And help doesn't necessarily mean going straight to a therapist if that's not what you're comfortable with. Help doesn't necessarily equate to just therapy. No, help can be talking to someone you trust, whether it be your partner, your friend, your colleagues, whoever, someone in your community, whoever. Just talking to someone about it, or even saying, hey, I'm not doing so well right now, I want to talk, or something along those lines. Like, help isn't always just professional mental health support. Although that's not excluded from help, that's not the only form of help. Yeah, or support. It's okay to talk about big feelings. It's okay to not have to do everything by yourself. It's okay to be honest with yourself. It's okay to not suppress everything. It's okay to say, hey, I'm not okay. I'm actually not okay. I've been putting up this image that I am okay, but I'm really not okay and I need some support. Or whatever words work for you. It's okay to reach out. And I know that the world we live in doesn't make it very easy as boys and men because of the existing stigma that I mentioned. And it understandably can be very scary living like in this world and trying to reach out because of the possible negative reactions and people in our lives or people in general mistreating us and not being very nice because of being human. By being human, I mean talking about emotions and just sharing that I'm not okay and this is going on and I don't want to do this alone. It's utter rubbish that the world is like this. I can't fix the world like this, and I can only do my part to continue challenging the bullshit that exists around not just mental health in general, but men's mental health. Yeah, and do know that it's not a reflection of you if you reach out and someone doesn't take it well because you're a boy or a man being vulnerable or disclosing feelings and difficult experiences. It's not a reflection of you and you are not the problem. It's a problem of the person that they don't take men and boys reaching out talking about mental health well. It's a reflection of the person or the group or whoever it is and not you. And I also do want to say that when we do have downfalls, it doesn't make us any less strong. It doesn't make us any less strong that we have downfalls or are not doing well. It's unrealistic that we can keep gunning it all the time and never experience any sort of poor mental health days where we just I just trying to survive right now and I can't really do much else. That's okay too. It doesn't mean you're weak for not being able to consistently maintain what your baseline is. Everyone's baseline is different. State of mental health, what it looks like is different for everyone. When you deviate from your baseline, it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're any less of a person. It doesn't mean that you're not loved. Even on your worst days, you are loved. You having a bad day, bad week, bad month, bad year, however long it may be, it doesn't mean you are less lovable because you're experiencing rough times. Experiencing rough times do not make you any less lovable. Experiencing rough times does not make you any less of a man or a boy. Experiencing rough times does not mean that you are a nobody and that you should just be treated like garbage because people might see you as a burden, and you're not a burden. You're not a burden for experiencing a rough patch. You're not a burden for wanting to talk about feelings. You're not a burden for wanting to be supported and not have to do every fucking thing by yourself. You are not a burden. Even if people say you are, or the anxiety or whatnot in your own head might be telling you that you are a burden. This is a problem I still have, and I'm still working on it every day. Fucking anxiety telling me that I'm an annoying piece of garbage that I should just shut up. I tell anxiety to shut up. Not easy, but I'm getting there. I'm getting better every day. You're not a burden. And whatever good enough means, you are that. And like I said, having rough days and just being in survival mode and not being able to do much compared to your normal, your personal normal, whatever it may look like for you, does not mean, and that you're less lovable, less deserving of being treated as human, that you don't deserve to be treated as a human being, that that doesn't mean that people shouldn't, it doesn't mean that people should just like abandon you or like not be around and just be there during the good times for convenience. Those people are rude and are not very healthy people to be around if they're just around for fucking convenience sake when it's positive and run away when it's all bad. No. Yeah, that's all the thoughts I had for this video. It's been a while since I made a mental health advocacy video. The last mental health ones I made were like depression memes and social anxiety memes. And I just would like to go back into talk about mental health stuff because a lot of my channel recently has been a lot about trans stuff, LGBT stuff, and my personal growth stuff, which is all well and good. But I also am very interested and would like to bring back mental health based videos. And I was watching my first video back just before I filmed this one, and I did say I was going to talk about my experiences with therapy, and I haven't done that yet. That's a video I do want to talk about, like my experiences with therapy and what the whole process was like and whatnot. That's just one idea that I do want to make a video about. Thank you for watching, folks. Thank you for your continuous support. If you have anything in particular you'd like me to talk about or discuss or give my ideas and thoughts on, feel free to leave them in the comments or email me. Again, thank you so much for your continuous support of my videos and my channel, and I will see you in the next video.